Hey guys, that's your commander today. I'm Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Hopefully it finds you all doing well out there. Oh, I know I am doing well. Hey, for the first time in, gosh, 10 years on YouTube, I think I'm actually making a kind of it's not a reaction video to my last video because we're not going to rewatch it, but it's really sat with me in a way that truthfully no other collaboration, no other video here on the channel ever has, or on any of my channels for that matter. So much so that I had a long conversation with Boozor, who is the world's #1 free-to-play player in the game.
You're kidding me, not again.
But first, today's video is brought to you by Watcher of Realms. That's right, Watcher of Realms, where I upload every single day on my second YouTube channel, Ash, Watcher of Realms. Guys, you may be distracted by what's going on in the background right now. There is a brand new limited exclusive champion launching right now this weekend here as a part of the Valentine's Day events. Her name is Lust, and she is a guaranteed champion inside the game. What better time to download Watcher of Realms to get on the ground floor and get your hands on Lust? You can see Arrogance there in the chair as well. That's right, guys. By the way, here's my YouTube channel. I already have 130 videos. It can show you kind of how passionate I am about the game and how much I've been playing here. Where's my thumbnails? There you guys can see. So plenty of stuff to kind of watch and go over here. Some summons, a lot of fun stuff in terms of content on the Ash Watcher of Realms YouTube channel. But I need to tell you guys more about this Valentine's Day event. So we have Lust. You guys know that. Limited, exclusive, brand new. She looks freaking amazing, right? We also have the first couple skin set, Silas and Vierna, 2 exclusive skins. They look amazing as well, and let me tell you, these are 2 of the most powerful heroes inside the entire game. Now, that's not all that's going on. As always, they have a million special events inside the game. They have all these bonuses, cool rewards, chat emotes, chat bubble, redeem shops, the skins, as I told you about. They also have Lust exclusive artifacts from the redeem shop and much, much more. So guys, again, you're not going to want to miss these Valentine's Day events. It's all laid out right in game with this nice handy event calendar. Invocation of Oath is the Arrogance and the Lust special event. By the way, if we look at Lust, she looks insane. Like aesthetically, she looks awesome, obviously, but also her abilities, right? Her abilities, Ecstasy, Agonizing Delight, and the Flames of Desire, which is actually a bond skill, which is really cool. Obtain Arrogance, and she does extra damage in burning. So bond skills are like these companion abilities that specific heroes have inside the game, and Lust is one of them. So Lust and Arrogance and Silas and Vierna in terms of the skins and the new heroes, or the availability of Arrogance plus Lust, makes for a jam-packed weekend. Go ahead and download right now using the description below or the QR code on the screen right now. Make sure you use my link, guys, and a big shout out to Watcher of Realms for sponsoring today's video. If you missed that video, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but it'd probably be best to check out that interview. It's kind of long.
Very, very long.
But it is probably some of the most compelling content. I'm biased, but in my opinion, the most compelling content that I put out here on the channel ever. Really, it's a real genuine interview where I'm just asking him what life is like with, frankly, an account that is just as developed as my own, aside from empowerment, right? But in terms of advancement in the game, the same as me, right? And I spent too much in this game, and he's 100% free to play, verified from Plarium, right? From Plarium, $0 on the account.
I've made a huge mistake.
It's not just the accomplishment. It's actually had a massive effect on me as a player, right, of this game. And I wanted to share kind of my takeaways from that video because I wasn't able to share it, my opinion on everything, in that video. I was too busy asking him about everything.
Where do you live?
In the city.
Do you have a house?
Apartment.
Want to rent?
Rent.
What do you do for a living?
Lots of things.
Where's your office?
I don't have one.
How come?
I don't need one.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Are you my dad's brother?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
38.
It's so important, and it really comes down to, for me, just changing everything about the way I currently look at this game in a number of different levels. Not just, I mean, first of all, the accomplishment. Free to play, end game clears everything in the game. I mean, that's incredible. Top 50 arena finishes, plat finishes, everything. Live arena, top player, just everywhere excelling in the game, right? Every dungeon hard cleared, everything. That's amazing. But it's also not for me. Part of the reason I play these games, honestly, and this is a weird thing to say or to admit, so to speak, but it's true. Part of the reason I play these games is because I don't have the time to put into them that he necessarily has, right? If you heard that interview, he's actually going in there like during family time every 10 minutes and just making sure the game is still going and still churning out in the background. And I don't want that. That's that, to each their own, right? Like I can totally see why kind of tending to it like a garden, like your account, might be compelling to a lot of people out there.
Do you really think you can do this?
But definitely there's a balance in this game. The reason I actually enjoy it is because sometimes I can spend money instead of my time, because I don't have the 10, 20 hours a day that it takes to excel at some only skill-based games. You ever play any, I don't know, like Fortnite or something with your kids or your friends or your family, or maybe you just play it, who cares? Either way, you just ever find yourself saying, yeah, even if I could get that good, which I'm not saying I could, but I just don't have the time that it takes to play, kind of like becoming a master at the piano. I just don't have the time, that goes into creating something from being a habit to a routine to an amazing skill, right? Anyway, so I'm not saying I'm adjusting everything about the way that I play this game, but I do have a lot of takeaways. And first off, I want to talk about money in this game as a crutch, okay? I think the pendulum can swing too far the other way, meaning, sure, yeah, you can spend some money to save some time. That's how it starts out in this game. But then I found myself getting pretty lazy, and I jotted down a number of ways that I'm immediately after that interview going to change how I cover the game. First of all, Boozor had like hundreds of millions of silver, right?
I have tons of silver. I have like almost 1 billion silver, so I don't worry about silver.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Where did you get this from?
And I haven't actually released the video. I'm going to do so tomorrow at the time of this recording, so it's all messed up. So I haven't seen your reactions to that video. I hope you guys love it as much as I did. Golly. But he had tons of silver. And the biggest complaint I hear from everybody is not enough silver in this game, or one of the biggest complaints, right? So to me, that was a shocker, right? That this guy, and he even said on the interview, he's like, yeah, silver is plentiful. No issues on silver at all. I have way too much silver than I know what to do with. That was a shocker to me, right? A free-to-play with way too much silver than they know what to do with? How? And of course I asked him, and really what it came down to, a number of different things, but the crux of it is, and his answer was, using his energy. He said that most players in this game throw away, I mean, because energy is the currency that you can turn into a lot of things, silver first and foremost in this game, right? He said that most players in this game throw away way more energy than they even spend, right? He didn't say exactly that, but that was his thing. It's like the number one mistake in terms of silver is not using your energy. And I think that, listen, I'm not going to play this game 24/7, you know, but that being said, I can do such a better job at it. Look at my energy right now, 2,300. Now, granted, I just used a little bit of energy because I had to farm a spider for the fusion, so, you know, but I sit at a lot of energy all the time. You know, I farm a little bit here and there, and then a lot of it, a couple times a week or something like that, you know, but I'm throwing away. And this is where it gets really painful, right? Is if you're spending for resources such as energy, for example, right? If you're spending for resources in this game, gear, energy, whatever, right? Anything that you can just get, but you're not taking full advantage of what they give you for free, right? So that's the number one thing, is I want to be much smarter after talking to Boozor about how and when I farm, and being a lot more optimal in terms of my energy, right? I don't want to sit on energy and then go buy energy some other time, you know? Like, I want to use my energy.
Do you have any idea how badly I want to kill you?
Yes.
Number two is being free to play or low spend, or in my case, high spend historically, should not mean that your artifacts and your gear and the way you build champions and all that stuff is crap or worse than or less than someone who does. Now, let me explain. There's one moment in the video, right? And I couldn't find it on the timestamps because it was like a little passing side comment, you know? It wasn't even meant to be a feature of the video at all. I farmed a dungeon for him, and he got I think a 5-star legendary artifact, I want to say, with speed as a substat, and he's like, trash it. And in my mind, I was like, whoa, a free-to-play wants to trash a speed substat? Keep this, right?
No.
No? I don't know what you like. I don't know what you roll.
Oh, sorry. 5-star, no.
Okay, there's definitely something wrong.
Now, whether or not you agree with that decision, it's really neither here nor there. It's the principle. It's the principle of, wow, when he said that, I thought to myself, wow, this guy has very clear standards of what he wants from artifacts. He doesn't waste time with a full inbox of artifacts clunking up, taking space. He doesn't waste time in silver, rolling up every single artifact that's 5-star, for example, just because it has a speed roll, right? And it goes a little bit into the silver optimization too. And again, every account's going to be different, and what is valuable to you and me and Boozor and anybody else might be different. But I think it's important to have ever-changing, floors to the quality of artifacts that you're actually willing to keep on your account, right? So that's another small takeaway from me, but I was like, you know what? Frankly, maybe I'm embarrassed to admit this now, right? But I personally would have kept that artifact, and it probably would have taken me about 3 weeks, but I would have rolled it up and sold it,
Keep the change.
But having clear, just clear guidelines as to what makes sense for your account, given where you are in your account, and always reevaluating those, right? Next one is paying a lot more attention to events and free rewards. I mean, listen, a lot of you, I have the feeling that a lot of you guys probably do better at this than I do, but I do not pay enough attention. Only during fusions and fragment summons, really, honestly, or really cool events. That's about it. But I don't really pay attention too much. And this goes back to the laziness. I'm like, you know what? I'll play lazy and spend versus just taking a second to look at what's going on, right? I'm sure even if you're better than I am, all of us to a degree in this game, you get used to it. If you're a spender, you get used to it. I'll spend a little bit here and whatever. I'll be lazy and not look at things and not take advantage of things in the game. And again, I hope that the takeaway here isn't, oh, just make raid your life and full-time job and everything you think about, then it will be good. No, that's not it. But if you're gonna play the game, maybe pay attention to the game. Maybe take what they have to give you for free, right? The other one is he doesn't use or upgrade any champion that he knows he's not going to use, or unless he knows he's going to use them, right? Unless he has a use for them. And this is a big one. And this all comes back to Valkyrie on his account, right? He had a Valkyrie and she was at 60 and she was ascended, but he had no gear on her and he had no skill tomes in her at all. And I remember even mentioning on the video, I'm like, dude, you got Valkyrie. You don't have any gear on her. And he's like, yeah, I don't need her for my account.
That is dangerously arrogant.
It was a really astute, takeaway that I hope a lot of you guys are going to have from that and really, answer on his part. Because what that says to me is he thinks long and hard about, he doesn't just willy-nilly just upgrade and then complain later like some of us do about not having resources. He thinks about it. Valkyrie is one of the better champions in the game. A champion that a lot of players would absolutely just do anything for. And he just wasn't using her. So he didn't put any resources into her. And there were some epics that he used a lot that, I don't have upgraded on my account that he did use. And he wasn't using a Valkyrie. So it taught me to be a little bit more selective in the decision-making that I do on my account. Now on my account, I'm trying to upgrade every champion for you guys on the Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides YouTube channel. So it's a little bit different. But I think at least for the majority of you guys, that should probably be a pretty important takeaway too. Laziness. I've gotten used to the laziness of using money as a crutch instead of actually paying attention and enjoying these things. I already said that, but I had it jotted down again, so I want to make sure I really drove that one home. Last thoughts. Why did he go free to play? I asked him straight up, dude. I know from off camera that you have a decent job, career, family. Surely you can afford $10, $20, $100. I don't know. Just spend a little bit. That way you don't have to sit there and open mystery shards all the time and hundreds and thousands of them, per event and all the tedious little things in the game. And you know what his answer was? I found it so insightful, guys. I found it so insightful. And this is why I wanted to make this video, because he gave the answer, but I had to give my feelings towards it to you guys as well. His answer was, I really enjoy Raid. I like the game. And I did not want to feel like I was just rushing towards the end game all the time by spending. By taking all those shortcuts, you rush until the end game, and then at the end game, you realize that, well, unless you're the 1 point or the 0.1111 or 0.0000% out there, excuse me, you're not going to be the best player in the game. And even the best player in the game, I've said it before, but no one even knows who that is. It's like, I cover this game every day, and if you told me who's the #1 player in Raid, I wouldn't even have an answer for you, Sure, there's like a few names out there that are top of the leaderboards, but why? Why are we rushing towards that? You know, especially if we're not going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on the game. So I thought it was a great answer. I just didn't want to rush to the end of the game. Why kill the enjoyment? I enjoy the game. And it's just like, that's a very wise answer. He can spend money, but he just doesn't, because why do you need to? Why do you need to? And even if you are going to spend money, it's just a question to ask yourself. Honestly, there was a good Super Bowl Sunday pack in the shop. By the way, I didn't know they could use the Super Bowl in there. Interesting. Meaning the licensing, calling it Super Bowl. Anyway, I digress. I had a Super Bowl Sunday pack that I would have bought before that interview, honestly. It was like, you know, I don't know, 5 primals and 12 voids or whatever for, you know, I think $60 or $70. Whatever it was, it felt like a pretty good deal. But then I thought about Boozor. I thought about the chat. And I'm like, what am I rushing? Why? Why am I going to do that? You know, not to say it's not fun to, like, personally, I don't mind spending on my entertainment. You know, this is why I spend on the game. Even if I didn't make content on YouTube, I would still spend money on Raid. The free to play life, so to speak, is not for me.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. No hassles.
That being said, there's always a limit, because if your overall enjoyment is the same of the game, then what's the rush? What's the rush? What do I need? I need one more champion? I have 1 billion that I still need to upgrade and mess around with and have some fun with, right? Seeing his enthusiasm and dedication to the game, he said multiple times, it's a different game. The free-to-play game is different. You're playing a whole different game. And it kind of made me want to do the same thing. Not free-to-play, but maybe stop and pause before being a bull in a china shop, just throwing around everything and not stopping to, I don't know, just, what is it? Stop to sniff the flowers, smell the flowers? I'm mixing my metaphors, but either way, guys, maybe enjoy the ride a little bit more and spend a little bit less, but also strategically, maybe just use the resources they give us for free, energy first and foremost. Maybe just use it a little bit more efficiently overall, you know? So I want to share those thoughts with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this and didn't find it too redundant after watching that video, but I don't know, it just stuck with me, you know? Frankly, again, I recorded that a couple days ago at the time of this recording. I was traveling this weekend, whatever. Like, I had a little backlog of 4 videos ready for you guys. And it just sat with me for a couple days, and I had to make another video talking about it. Anyway, guys, I'll have a link to that one in case you missed it. The pinned comment, there's a lot that I didn't cover in this quick little recap, so to speak. So check that out. I would love to have him on a lot more often, too. I just found it really, just genuinely, I was so curious, you know? Much love, guys. That's all I have to say today. Thank you. Let me know how you felt about the interview if you did watch it. Did you come away with any of the same takeaways or anything different than I did? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.